What did you like most about camp? Some surprise players, maybe?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good camp, a little bit short in format than what we've done in the past. It seemed like it was just the right amount of time with when you have 48 players. We cut out the scrimmage this year, but we still got the competitive aspect in it, tried to build throughout the last few days. So nice opportunity to see. It's a lot of players to look at, but the free agents that we invited in, then our drafted players, having a look at our new picks with players like Hopkins and Koblar, and just getting a chance to see their skill. And also the age difference. You've got 17, 18-year-olds versus 24-year-olds in there, so you factor that in as well. But I thought it was a good week overall.
Koblar's still out there. What sort of first impression did he make on you in this camp?
He's a very serious kid. Comes from, I think, a family and a background of understanding what training and work ethic is all about. With the Olympic history with his parents, seems to have he doesn't give up much on the ice. He gets pushed around a little bit and then he pushes right back. So like what I saw there, and some good offensive instincts. So he'll be staying for another week or so. We'll be working with him here in the facility, and he's been a bright spot in camp.
Hopkins is a guy that, we're talking to the players in the other group, stood out. What stood out about his camp?
Yeah, he stood out for me as well, just because of his hockey sense. He made some really nice plays. Not an overly big kid, not an overly fast kid, but you notice him out there many times just by the ability to complete plays and put the puck on people's sticks. So it was nice to see. That's kind of what we saw of him in the draft as well, and it seemed to translate the last few days.
You saw the guys wearing the work shirts, and I'm just wondering, is there a theme or a message that you wanted all the prospects to take out of this week?
Yeah, the theme this week we talked a lot about was details matter. The difference often between making it from this level to the next and the next is the little things that you do when nobody's watching. So we talked about the details from on the ice, but also off the ice, the way you train, you carry yourself, you eat, you work out in the gym. All those things add up over time, and consistency over time is often what separates.
When you look at the horse stuff that you guys did, do you feel like you got what you wanted out of that exercise?
Yeah, the horse, a lot to be made about the horse, but if you ask myself and Shane Doan, we loved it, but we grew up around horses, but it was fantastic. The way, the whole point of that is to do something a little bit different, but with a point of leaving the players thinking maybe a little outside the box. When you do a development camp, you're trying to develop these guys as much on the ice as off the ice. And so with Jeff Davis and what he was able to do, tying in the ability to, trust, respect, teamwork. The horse is sort of like a young prospect developing, and the way in which they work together. I thought it was a really unique exercise. I think quite a few of the players liked it and were a little bit surprised. They didn't know what they were walking into, but at the end, a lot of good comments. So I think it worked out.
Last year, Nathan Mays was kind of an amusing story for us last year, last player picked and all that. But he's here again. He's had better numbers last year. What do you think of his development within the last year?
Yeah, he's really improved. I think Nathan, if you saw him in this camp, he's got flashes of offensive ability. He's scored some really nice goals in the WHL, and for him, it's finding the sweet spot of who he is going to be as a defenseman. Is he more of a defensive defenseman with an offensive ability? But he skates well. He's got good hands, and he's a big body out there. And so I thought he had a good camp the last few days, and he's kind of coming out of his shell a bit as well.
Any kind of marching orders or whatever from these guys? Resource materials to take home during the summer? What's their message there as far as that?
Yeah, for any of the players that are in our organization, we have everything available to them, whether it's strength and conditioning, nutrition, on-ice opportunities. That's all there. And the advice is take advantage of it. It's here for you. The free agents that will follow along, and if they are in our system at some point in time, they'll have the same opportunities. But there's everything a player could want available here, and it's just about taking advantage of it.
Some of the prospects were saying that it was cool to see Tavares on the ice skating and looking like he's on top of his game on Friday. How much of that is it helpful for you guys in the development program? How much can you hold him up as a role model?
Well, it was interesting when Mark Giordano spoke to the players yesterday. One of the players asked, who are some of the best pros you've ever been around, and his first answer was John Tavares. I've trained with John myself over the years, and he's just the ultimate pro. he doesn't leave any details unturned, and he has a plan for himself. And so one of the cool things about doing development camp is we have these guys that are skating before some of the pros that are in town. So we give the players a chance to watch them, ask them questions, an opportunity to just see, oh, that's what it takes to get to that level. And John is the epitome of that.
Yeah. I was going to say, Giordano's speech you mentioned, for the undrafted guys, for the guys who are maybe have a bit of a longer path, how valuable do you think that was?
I think there's a lot of players sitting listening to Gio that said, that's me, and that could be me. The career that he had being undrafted, coming in, and eventually winning a Norris Trophy is really an incredible story. But when he starts to speak about the road and how much commitment and effort and what he learned along the way, I think probably those players sitting there listening go, I can do it, but boy, it takes a lot of work to get there. And so it's nice to have these guys around that can just share stories very informally with the players. I think they get a lot out of it.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What do you hope to see different out of Ben's game when he comes back for training camp?
I don't think Ben has to do anything different. He just needs to be more of what he is, which he's a great skating puck transporter. He can play physical when he has to. He's great at playing up in the play. I think just the calm around his game, picking his spots more, knowing that he doesn't have to do two different jobs on the ice. Sometimes he tries to, because he skates so well, you can skate yourself right out of the play a little bit. And so it's just actually calming that down and being a little bit more of who he is and trusting in himself. Yeah.
You were friends with Menno Rayom.
Yeah.
What it was like having Nick here? He mentioned that you have a relationship with his aunt.
Yeah. Menno and I still are, but we were really good friends. We played on the national team together. She was a mentor to me, and I really admired how she navigated that whole NHL situation and just was a great teammate. So, when I see Nick, I see Menno, and they look similar in a lot of ways. And he's just a really nice kid and wants to play professional hockey so badly, works as hard as he possibly could. So that whole family with his dad Pascal and Menno, like that, there's no surprise that he's willed himself to this point in his career. Yeah.
What are you going to remember about this week?
I feel like last year coming in I was a bit nervous and everything. This year I got to soak in a little bit more, maybe because I wasn't as stressed out and stuff, knowing a lot of people coming into this. I think the 3 days that we were on the ice, it was really helpful. We worked on transition, rush, and compete, and they really wanted us to know that that's kind of what the NHL game revolves around. So I'm really going to take that away from this camp, knowing those things. It was a bit of an eye opener, a lot of give and goes, a lot of chips. You got to move your feet at all times. So that was really helpful to to get to know that kind of stuff.
What's an example of something that you learned this week? It's obviously all about development. You hear off the ice seminars. You mentioned the on the ice. What's an example of something that you think you learned this week?
There's so many things from all the seminars we're doing, from the video that we're doing. Nothing in particular stands out. Like I just said, the stuff that we worked on the ice, was really helpful. We did a lot of power skating. We're in the gym working out, doing all that stuff. It was helpful. Being comfortable around here this year, it helped a lot. Having confidence and stuff. So that was good.
Is there anyone that stuck out to you in this camp most specifically?
I thought a lot of guys, worked their, they worked really hard this camp. I didn't think anyone, left anything on the ice. They left it all out there. So, I thought everyone, was really good. I thought everyone was good, to be honest. So.
You were the top pick coming in last year. Koblar, the top pick coming in this year from the last draft. What stood out to you about him?
He's really good hands. Someone who's very, he's got a really good shot. Even watching him out here just 10 seconds ago, I think he just went bar down 4 times in a row. So, I think he's going to be a really special player soon to come. He's really good.
Hopkins was in the other group, but he was talking about how he didn't like playing you in the OHL. I'm wondering what it's like to play Hopkins in the O.
It's actually funny because we roomed together this week. He was my roomie. Hoppy, he's a great player. He's someone that's, he's really tall. He's a lanky kid. I think he's just going to keep getting better. The more he fills out, he's really skilled. His hands, shot, good skater. Hoppy's a really great player. So.
We were just talking to Hayley about you, and she was saying sometimes you have a tendency maybe to try and do too much. I'm wondering, where are you at with that and trying to keep that at bay?
I feel like that's something that I could maybe just like I said, I think I said it earlier in the week that I just need to keep things little bit more simple at times. I can't overcomplicate things. When you get to the next level, you need to get the trust of the coaches, and that's not from overcomplicating things, turning over pucks. You need to keep it simple, play the right way. Not playing safe by any means, but just getting to that line where the risk reward, but you're not playing stupid. So yeah.
What was it like to hear from Giordano? Anything resonate in particular from his talk the other day?
Yeah, it was great. He's someone that obviously I watched growing up, him being the captain of the Flames and everything, and winning the Norris not too long ago as a 35-year-old. Like, he's someone that's just a high character person, but the way he played the game too, block shots. I respect that so much, and just he was an all-around player, two-way offense, defense, leader. To get to hear words of wisdom, he's got a lot of them from a guy like that. It's really cool. So.
Yeah, it was an awesome week. I learned a lot of things from everybody from the support staff to just seeing how the guys are, and compete was the big focus this week, and I think that was something that I'll definitely remember going into this next season.
What was your favorite moment?
Favorite moment, honestly, probably just had to be on ice. I love getting out there, skating with all these guys, and we had great staff out there, so yeah, it was great.
Anyone stick out most to you?
I wouldn't say stick out most, but there's just a bunch of amazing players, I'd say. Hopkins looked really good there on the other ice. I got to watch a little bit of 3-on-3 and 4-on-4, so yeah, he looked really good. And a lot of great guys out there.
What impressed you most about his game?
I think he's just such a smooth skater. He handles the puck really well from what I got to see, and just really poised.
Did you have a chance to see, I guess Tavares was skating before the group one of the days? Do you have any interactions with the current Leafs?
Yeah, I got to see that for a little bit as we were getting ready, so that was really cool, and just see how hard he works, and his work ethic is just, it's something that's really special.
And I understand you guys heard from Giordano as an undrafted guy. What I guess pops about his message?
Yeah, it's definitely awesome just obviously to keep going. He went through a little bit of trials and in his career when he went over to Russia, and he had the opportunity to come back, and he took it. And I just think his work ethic, another thing that really stuck out to me, and something that I'm just going to focus on for coming up into this season.
What will you focus on for the rest of the summer?
Yeah, just getting bigger, faster, and stronger. I know that's kind of what everybody says, but I think for me, putting on a couple more pounds of muscle, and just really focusing on my speed work going into next season, and just being heavier on pucks.
What are you going to remember most about this week?
I think everything. I think it's just a cool experience, obviously, to have all the resources here and all the coaches on ice. Anytime you can have Kyle Clifford out there, to a Norris winning defenseman, Giordano, Jake Muzzin, all these guys. It's incredible to learn from them, obviously. So yeah.
What's an example of something that you learned? I'm sure you learned a lot this week, but what's something that you learned that stuck out?
I think everything, just finer details. I think they went over a lot of finer details, and just being a pro and all kinds of stuff like that. We had a lot of really good seminars and stuff, which I learned a lot from, so that was good too.
What was your favorite moment of the week?
I think all of it. I think just getting to meet the guys. It was a really good group of guys here, and I think we all bonded pretty well. So just hanging out with the guys at the hotel and stuff like that after the skates was a lot of fun.
Is there any player going up against that really, caught your eye or impressed you?
I think everyone here is a great player. I think obviously everyone's here is good, and the first rounders like Danford, he was really good out there. I was on the ice with him, and a bunch of other guys were really good. A lot of really fast players out here, so yeah.
What impressed you most about Danford?
Just the way he skates and the way he can move. And he's a big guy too, and the way he moves, it's pretty special.
You mentioned the seminars. Giordano, you mentioned you'd never been drafted until this year. You were, what stood out to you about his path, his message?
Just the hard work. He spoke very well, and it was like a motivating speech sort of. It kind of showed guys that anything's possible if you put the work in, and that was really cool to see someone like that speak in front of all of us. So yeah, I think all the guys really appreciated him do that.
And I know some guys were talking about how they got a chance to see Tavares on the ice before. Did you have a chance to see that? What stands out seeing those guys skate now?
Oh yeah, they're incredible. You watch them on TV as a kid, right? Growing up, for the last my whole life, right? And then you've been watching these guys, then you see them in real life, and you're like, wow, it's kind of crazy.
With Tavares in particular, some guys were saying he looks like he could play World Championship gold medal game right now.
Oh yeah.
What stands out watching him skate in July?
Just the way he works so hard, right? He just goes full out every time, and that's pretty much it.
The fight got a lot of attention on social media.
Yeah,
Did you hear about it? What was that like?
Yeah, it went viral, I guess. I don't know. People must have liked it, or it went viral. I don't know.
Yeah, what did your family say, or did you hear from them about it, or?
No, just playing hockey.
Okay. What's your focus the rest of the summer?
Just to work my hardest and learn every single day, and just keep working, keep sticking to the grind, and that's it. Just simple, day by day, one day at a time.
Last man on the ice at development camps. What were you working on there at the end?
No, just trying to develop, getting better, putting in extra work to get as best as possible, and trying to outcompete the other guys.
What will you remember most about this week?
No, just the stuff we're trying to learn, and taking this with me to my club back home, Leksand.
What is an example of something you learned at this camp?
No, just to not think about what others think about you and focus on yourself, and don't let your emotions go, like, I don't know how to say, but don't let your emotions affect you.
What's it been like having a guy like Victor here, just going through the process of you being in Toronto for the first time?
No, he's been a lot of help. He's helped me to get into the community, to get to know the other guys, and no, he's a great guy, a great hockey player.
What was your favorite moment this week?
I would say putting on the Leafs jersey.
What did that feel like?
It felt actually really crazy. Actually, just an unbelievable feeling, and to put on a Leafs jersey.
A couple of guys here were saying that they saw Tavares skating at one point during the week. Did you see him out there? Did you get a chance to watch him at all?
No, actually not. I had medicals at the time he was on the ice, so I didn't get the chance.
Did you see any Leafs this week?
No, actually not.
But you're sticking around for a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm sticking around until the 11th.
What are you going to do next week?
Just working on the stuff I need to get better at and develop.
What is at the top of the list of stuff that you're focusing on that you want to get better at?
Explosiveness, getting faster, and I want to develop my shot to,
Is there anybody's shot that you watch that you like?
Matthews, and of course Bedard has also an unbelievable shot, so yeah.
What do you notice when you watch Austin's shot?
No, just how he can shoot, and from different places, and how he places the puck to not let the goalie or the defenseman read him.
For you, Hayley was saying she likes that you don't back down. We saw at the other pad, there was a cross check. You got right back into Ferrand. Where's that come from for you?
No, I would say it has been through my childhood. I've always been battling with my brother, so yeah, he's bigger, stronger, but I don't let down.
Yeah, you win some of those battles, or a lot of those battles?
I would say I win them, some of those.
How much older is he?
He's 03, 4 years older.
4 years older. What does he think about this? You get drafted by the Leafs?
No, he thinks that it's really cool. He just supports me and wanted the best stuff for me.